All right, so I'm out today taking advantage of the nice weather to do some training today. And one of the things I don't spend a lot of time on is VNAV profiles. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that today. I'm going to take off out of Warren County, India 68, and I'm going to fly over to Highland County. And on the way out there, we have a MOA at 5,000 feet that was actually, or is active until about 11 or 11:30 today. I want to make sure before I get to the MOA, I am below 5,000 feet to stay out of it. Even though I'm VFR, I just want to make sure I'm below it. Come down to 3,500 feet. So I'm going to take off out of Warren County, and I'm going to do a long track offset that is 11 miles from Highland County, so that I descend from 5,500 feet down to 3,500 feet, and I'm below the MOA. From that point on, as we go down to YTEX, I'll go ahead and bring that down to 2,500 feet, and then take that the rest of the way back to Warren County, and we will see how everything goes. So in order to set that up, we're going to go into our flight plan view and go up to KHawk, and I'm going to do a long track offset of 11 miles. And I want to be at 3,500 feet at that point. Okay. Then the next spot I'm going to go to is YTEX. I want to descend down to 2,500 feet at that point. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And then when I get back to Warren County, I want to do a long track offset so that 2 miles before I get to Warren County, I am at pattern altitude, 1,900. Now we should be set. I'll go ahead and select my altitude bug for the first leg, and we'll go ahead and go up to 5,500 feet. Transponder set at 1,200, and let's head on out. I climbed to 5,500 feet. Now once we get up there, we'll go ahead and do the VNAV profile back down to 11 miles before Hocking Hills, or before Hocking County. We drop below the MOA. There's good, so it says we have about a minute. Let's bring our altitude select bug back down to 3,500 feet. We'll hit VNAV.
Number 968 Uniform Delta, you by that traffic now, no factor to 17-3000, advised date in sight.
So now we now have
Uniform Delta, yes sir, it was. You need me to repeat?
Vertical path right here.
Vertical track.
VNAV not armed, so we'll do VNAV direct. And we want to go vertical, and we want to hit enter. And it is saying not armed. So now, it captured the vertical path. Good learning experience. Now as we captured the path right at the bottom of descent, starting that descent down to 3,500 feet. If I zoom out, we'll see by the little banana that it's going to bring us right outside of the MOA down to our altitude. All right, so we are descending down through 5,000 feet, going down to 3,500 feet, 11 miles northwest of our waypoint, so we avoid the MOA.
Let me know when you have the airport in sight.
We're going down at our vertical speed target, all's good. Great learning exercise. I don't do this very often, so it's kind of nice to find out how things will react to what I'm doing wrong. For a minute there, it said VNAV not armed. I just didn't realize that it would start right when you at the top of descent. Now we're coming down to 3,500 feet, got about 1,000 feet to go. Whenever we get there, the next waypoint should be YTEX, and we want to go to 2,500. So I'm still in the VNAV profile, so I'm going to find out what happens as we continue on down. Once we capture 3,500 feet, it will tell me how far until we get to YTEX once we capture 3,500. Now we're going to YTEX, but we're turning direction, so I'm going to do a long track offset and say 5 miles before we get to YTEX, I want to be at 2,500 feet. That way we're going the correct way. So it now shows that we're going to have a top of descent right after we pass Hocking County to bring us down to the correct altitude for the direction of travel. So let's go ahead and do altitude select. Back down to 2,500 is what we're going to capture next. Vertical path is there again. And when we get to top of descent, that should capture. VNAV is armed. So we're about 3 miles from Hocking County Airport. We'll fly, or Highland County Airport, excuse me. We'll fly over that real quick. We'll head out towards the southwest. And it shouldn't be more than another few miles, 7 miles or so before we get to Witex, and about another minute and 20 seconds was what it shows before we are going to start our descent. So that 5 miles before Witex, we are down to 2,500 feet going west. The vertical path is in.
Vertical track.
VNAV is not armed yet. It will armed when it captures in about 55 seconds. So our vertical path just captured, and so now we're starting our descent down to 2,500. So that was a little good exercise for today. Well, I guess educational practice on VNAV profiles, so if we ever get one of those, or instead of just vertical speed down, we could always use the VNAV profile in case we had multiple crossing restrictions. So good learning experience for today. Join for the next one.